Hey Chem students, Mr. MB here. We're going to get started in today's lesson. So, just here to say, hey, let's do it. So today we are talking about unit conversions, and specifically we're talking about SI prefixes. Sorry, I'm going to get us here in a moment. There we go. Get my face a little bit more out of the way. So, before we get started here, make sure that you have your guided notes out, a writing utensil, and a calculator. So if you need to pause the video and do that, please take care of that. But our goal for today is that you will be able to utilize SI prefix units, use SI unit prefixes, my apologies, to convert units for length, for mass, and for volume, okay? And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to be using SI units. And you're like, what does SI stand for? I need somebody who speaks some French to actually say this correctly for me, but basically it is the Système International. There's my attempt at it. It sounded more like Spanish, to be honest. But in English, what that is the International System of Units, okay? So if you've ever traveled out of the country, you probably noticed, like, why are they using distance in kilometers instead of miles? Or why, if I go to Canada and I want to buy gas, it's in liters, not in gallons. So most of the world, except for the United States, and I think the UK, uses this International System of Units. So it's working off these base units. So we have things like length, and so we're going to use meters for length. We're doing mass, it's kilograms. If time, it's seconds, for example. And it's all based off of these prefixes over here. And a prefix, if you remember from English, is something in the beginning of a word, okay? So, for example, if you've ever used a centimeter before, probably seen it on a ruler, what a centimeter is it's using this base here, meter, to represent length, and you put in front of it this prefix, centa. And centa tells you how much of a meter you're measuring, okay? So we have these prefixes right here. Here are some of their names. There's centa for you, okay? And so we're gonna use these prefixes along with the base units to represent things, and that's what we're talking about today, okay? So let's move down a little bit. It's all kind of rooted in this idea of a base 10. Let me try to explain this a little bit for you. If you are like me and you love math, you remember that good old number line, okay? And the number line that we're gonna use today is this power of 10. So let's imagine we're starting here at 1. Okay, this is our base unit. You can see it here on the table. Remember, you're following along in your guided notes. You can write along with me, okay? If we were to go to 10, another way we could write that with an exponent is 10 to the first. Remember, the exponent, you multiply this number by like that many of itself. So it's just 110, okay? If we go to the next one, you have 100. I'm going to decide to write this a little bit of a different way so it's easy to see. So let's set up our number line real quick. That's 1,000. Sorry if that's a bad one. Then we're going to go backwards. The small number 0.1, 0.01, and 0.001. Okay, so this is a number line. I apologize for the ones, they're a little bit funky there, but basically if we're at 1, this is 10 to the 0. You can follow along. There's my highlighter right here as well. I'm talking about this power of 10 idea, okay? So that's 10 to the 0. If we go over to 10, this is 10 to the first. 100 is 10 to the second. Remember, the exponent is how many times you multiply that 10, so 10 to the second is 10 times 10, or 100, okay? And then 1,000 is 10 to the third, okay? If we're going backwards, so if we're going towards these numbers over here, what we gotta do is it's gonna be 10 to the negative 1, then it'll be 10 to the negative 2, 10 to the negative 3. And a way that helps me to think about this is basically if it's a positive number, I'm moving to the right. So going from 1, I'm going to go over 1, 0. If it's a positive, over another 0, okay? If it's a negative exponent, that top number, I'm going to go to the left. So if I start, I'll do it in a different color. Maybe in blue. If I go from 1 to a negative 1 exponent, I'm going to the left. Okay, and you're moving as many decimal points as there are for the number. Okay, let's watch a video because I think they explain it a little bit better than I do. So let me just move this for you. I need my little hand. We're going to include this video in the notes, all right? So this will be the last thing we do for right now, and then we'll do some practice problems in a separate video. But hopefully this helps explain it maybe in a little bit better way than I can.
To another. To gain an easier perspective, let's put everything in a horizontal table. And we will begin with meters and grams for our base units. This table allows for an easy view of each exponent, which we will need in the conversions. For example, how many decigrams are in 2.6 kilograms? We will use a specific algorithm that uses the dimensional analysis setup as follows. First step, write amount and unit given in the problem, then multiply by a fraction with the unit given on bottom and unit wanted on top. Now we need to fill in the numerical relationship between decigrams and kilograms, which is where we now refer to the chart. We put a 1 with the larger unit, which is kilograms, and the smaller unit gets a power of 10, determined simply by subtracting the exponents represented by the prefixes. Kilo has an exponent of 3, deci is negative 1, and so the difference is 4, which becomes the exponent. There is 10 to the 4th, or 10,000 decigrams for every 1 kilogram. With this setup, the kilograms cancel, leaving the desired unit, decigram. Do the math, and we get 2.6 times 10 to the 4th decigrams. We have determined there are 26,000 decigrams in 2.6 kilograms.
Okay, and if you're wondering how they did that, remember I said earlier that this number up here, if it's a positive, it's how many times you're going to move the decimal to the right. So they had 2.6 to the 4th, so they just went 1, 2, 3, 4. You fill in this blank space with zeros, 26,000.
Click on this link.
Okay, so that's what I got for you for right now. You can do some practice in a moment, but this video is already long enough.